friends, and welcome to day one of my official day one of my 12 Cast Ons vlog series. I'm Emily, if you are new here, and I am a wife and a mom and a knitter and sewist and crafter. And here on my channel I usually post vlogs or knitting podcast videos, and today is a vlog. And it is day one. I'm going to cast on my first project for the 12 Cast Ons make-along that is hosted by Ange from Yarn and Yarns. I have just been today watching her day one cast-ons for the 12 Cast On make-along and thoroughly enjoying it. I first heard about the whole 12 cast-ons thing from Kirsty of Kirsty Knits and Sews, and I watched all of her vlogs, all of Kirsty's vlogs from last year, or beginning of this year, basically 12 Cast Ons 2025, and just fell in love with the whole concept. So here we are. The way that I am going to be doing it is I'm going to be doing a mix of planned and random. I really enjoyed how Kirsty did it, where she just had a whole pile of patterns she wanted to cast on, and she just put them in a bowl and she would draw a random one out every single day. I love that. I can't quite be that random because I had to make sure that any of the projects that I picked were projects that I had yarn for, because I don't want to purchase any yarn. I'm trying to do this all from stash, just for budget reasons and also just to use my beautiful yarn that I already have. So I'm planning to do that. I think, ironed out my 12 projects that I'm going to be casting on, and I'm going to put the rest of them into a dish of some kind on slips of paper and pull them out each day. But today's cast on I am just pre-picking, if you will, because it is for a test knit, so it's kind of one of those that I have to cast on. And I thought I might as well just throw it in with the 12 cast-ons. I was originally planning to start on January 1st because I was taking this week between Christmas and New Year's to kind of finish up some projects, frog some projects, and reassess and go through my stash and just look at it all, which if you watch my previous very lengthy video, you will know all of that, and you will have seen some of the thinking process behind my selection of projects for 12 cast-ons. But we have had a day today. My two boys, my 3-year-old and my 1-year-old, decided to get up at 4:30 this morning. Well, it was before 4:30, which is at least 2 hours before the baby usually gets up, and at least 2 to 2.5 hours before my toddler normally gets up. So we have had a very different day. And I was like, you know what? It's December 30th, it's close enough. We're going to cast on this planned project and just have that little bit of spark of joy and happiness for today. I think I will wait until January 1st to do any further cast-ons, but I'm very excited to get this one cast on. So before I talk about that, I should mention I am wearing a ranunculus sweater that is knit out of Mystery Mouse Yarn Co. in the Jessica Fletcher colorway, and I knit this, it's a DK weight base. I knit it on size, I'm pretty sure I used 8s for the body, and no, I probably used 9s, US 9s, which is a 5.5 millimeter. That's the baby. Hopefully he goes back to sleep. Okay, I'm back. Please, Lord, he will stay asleep. He has been a little sleep challenged this morning, obviously getting up and then his morning nap, and then last night needless to say, I'm going off of very little sleep today. Anyway, I think I was talking about this. I couldn't tell you what size I knit because I've kind of gotten to the point where with patterns that I am not test knitting, I just try it on and see if it fits. And if it fits, then I split for the sleeves. So it's kind of in between sizes. I did like kind of 3/4 length sleeves, or I guess these are more elbow length sleeves. Anyway, it's a little bit cropped, but I really do love this sweater, and I am hoping to cast on another ranunculus. So on to the pattern. The pattern that I'm going to be knitting is the Dreaming of Spring pattern by Jessica McDonald. And it's this beautiful Colorwork circular yoke pattern, and I am going to be using, I have for my project bag, this is a bag that I really don't know. I don't know if my mom made it for me or a grandma, great-grandma, something. I have had this bag for probably 25 plus years. I've had to patch up the corners at the bottom a couple of times, but I really like to use it for bigger projects because it's a nice sturdy bag. So in here I've got my yarn. This is some of my hand-dyed yarn. It's a fingering weight that I am planning to hold double, and hopefully I can get gauge, because if I can't get gauge then I'm gonna have to like dye some yarn, and that would definitely delay this project. But this is a really lovely variegated, it's got some greens and speckles and grays and whatnot, but it's an overall kind of dusky grayish blue. It's got some, there's like some quite bright pops of green in there. And yeah, I think it's going to be really, really nice. And then for my contrast color, I have this one. Yes, that's going to be amazing. I haven't actually held them together yet, so. This is the Variations DK yarn by Friendly Projects, Australian Merino, 100% superwash merino, in the African Strawberry Quartz colorway. Let's tuck that back in there. So this is an actual DK weight that I'm going to hold single, obviously, and then my finger weight, which I will hold double, and hopefully it's successful. And then I need to figure out needles, so I've got my interchangeable needle set. This was a set that was gifted to me a number of years ago, and I think it's either a Knit Picks or maybe a Knit Pro. It's a wooden needle set, and I really, really like it. The cords aren't my favorite, but this is what the needles look like, and it works with the Knit Pro cords, because I have purchased a couple of Knit Pro cords, and then I found randomly like different, I think there was a set of bamboo Knit Pro, or is it Knitter's Pride? Knitter's Pride, I think. Needles that like Hobby Lobby was clearancing out at one point, and so I grabbed those, and that works with these cables. So yeah, I have discovered that I really, really like working with wood knitting needles. I'm not the biggest fan of metal. It's just kind of interesting because everybody has different preferences. I know there's a lot of people who love the Chiagu needles, and I have 2 sets maybe. I have a size 3 and then maybe like a size 0 or something, and they're nice. Like the cord is nice and everything. I don't like metal needles. It's interesting. Anyway, and then I also have in here, I went ahead and grabbed, for Christmas I requested a bunch of knitting notions, and so I went ahead and popped a bunch in there. I've got a row counter in case I need it, tape measure, little scissors, and then I have filled up a 10. I can get it up with a bunch of stitch markers and my special, this is a progress keeper, or I thought this was a stitch marker, but it's a progress keeper, so I might have to swap that one out. I was trying to get a distinctive beginning of round marker. I have those, and then I have for this is absolutely inspired by Kirsty from Kirsty Knits and Sews. I have some markers for marking which project I cast on for which day. I asked my mother-in-law if she could make these, so I'm going to go ahead and pull off number 1, and I will have that to put on my project, and I'm very excited about that. I don't know, it's really special. I don't know why I hadn't thought about it before to ask my mother-in-law to make stuff like that, because she was absolutely thrilled when I asked her. She was so excited, and she was just like, oh, yes, absolutely. So that was really special. It was kind of fun to be able to ask her for something that she would love to make for me. So that is in there now. And I need to figure out, because the pattern calls for using US size 6 needles, which is a 4mm needle, but then the gauge that I need is 21 stitches for 4 inches, and I think that I can get 20 stitches per inch with a DK weight yarn with a US size 6. Easy peasy. I'm a continental knitter, so I'm a much looser knitter. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to do my version of swatching, which is I will do a little bit of a swatch and I will measure my gauge and see how it's looking and go from there. If I need to go down the needle size or up the needle size, whatever I need to do. But I'm going to start with the US size 5 or a 3.75 millimeter needle because then if I get a 22 stitches per inch gauge, then I know that that's perfect. That's what I'm aiming for, because then when I wash it, it's going to stretch because it's super wash yarn. So I kind of do that with a lot of my swatching because I always work with like the exact same yarns. I don't really branch out much, and so by this point, especially in like the fingering to DK weight gauge, I've got a pretty solid idea of what needles I need to use to get the correct gauge. And so that's a little tip for you, I guess, if you always work with the same kind of yarn. If you know that you get a certain gauge with a needle, especially because this one, it's not even Colorwork gauge, it's just stockinette gauge. So I will probably go up to a size 6. If I end up doing a size 5 for the rest of it, I will probably do a size 6 for the Colorwork just to make sure that I do it loose enough so it doesn't pucker. But I will probably, I'm guessing I'm going to need to do it on a size 5 needle. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if I can find a size 5. I have been doing a lot of projects that require size 4, 3.5 millimeter, or size 6, 4 millimeter needles. So I need to see if I even have size 5 needle tips. I'm not sure if I do or not. I would really like to get a few more, but I think I might save that for next Christmas and do that then. So anyway, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to assess my needles, do a little bit of a gauge, I'll check back in with you, and we will go from there. Well, after all that discussion of needles, it turns out I only have one wood size 5 needle tip. So I have to pull out my super cheap needles. I know I have another set of size 5s, and now I'm like, is there a knitting project somewhere that I just don't know, because I've literally just gone through all of my knitting projects that I know of, and I don't think there's any in the van. I don't think there's any elsewhere. I checked my needle tips that I have out here. I don't know where it is, and so I know I have one fixed circular that's a size 5 that's wooden. I don't know what has happened to that. So it must be in a project bag or something somewhere. I cannot think for the life of me where it is, because I'm pretty sure I frogged the last project that I used it on, and I've gone through everything, so I would have found it if I hadn't. Well, I'm just going to use these for now, and I may have to get myself an epiphany set of needle tips in size 5, but we'll make this work for now. Actually ended up needing to go down to a US size 4 to get the gauge that I needed. And I am loving how this yarn is knitting up. It overall from far away looks very much like it's just a solid color, but then there are these little pops of like, there's some blue, there's some green in there. This is gonna look so good. This is also how I do so that I don't have to actually knit it in the round. I just slide the stitches to the end of the needle and then carry the yarn back. So now I'm going to rip this out and wind it back onto the ball, and then I'm going to cast on and get started. I don't know, let me see here. Okay. Yes, so we do start with ribbing. So I need to get some smaller needles, but I actually think I'm going to go ahead and cast on, oops, I'm going to take this off, just a broken measuring tape, which is what was handy. I am actually going to cast on, I think, with the size 4, because technically I would need to go down to a size 3 for the ribbing. So I've just been watching Kirsty from Kirsty Knits and Sews, and she talks about how she just will cast on over 2 needles to make sure that her cast on isn't too tight. And maybe I'll just do that with the size 3s. Because in this one, it does have a difference of a US size 6 for the body and a US size 4, or 2 whole sizes smaller than gauge needles. So 2 whole sizes would be 3mm, which is 2.5, which I do have. Goodness, I'm tired. But I've been struggling a bit with my sweaters, even this one a little bit, where it presses right here on my neck. And some of that I can feel is because of the cast on. And so I think I will probably just do a US size 3 for the ribbing. And then if it's a little bit looser around my neck, then I can wear it easier. So that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm just going to get some 3s, which apparently I have so many sets of size 3s, which I didn't realize, and only one of size 5s. So I think I'll do a size 3, and then go to a size 4 for the body. Yeah, I'm excited. I really like how this is knitting up. I haven't cast on a new like sweater project in a good long time, so it's a lot of fun. But I need to also eat some food. I realize it's 1:20 and in the afternoon I haven't eaten lunch, so I need to eat something, and I probably need to make myself lay down and take a rest because I am so tired. And I will still need to function for the rest of the day with the boys. So I will probably unwind this, finish up Kirsty's video, and then go try and find something to eat, and then lay down and rest for like 15 or 20 minutes. And then hopefully get this cast on. I'm really excited about this. Like, it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be so nice. And I'm so happy to be using this yarn. This yarn has been in my stash for 5 years, I think. I hand dyed it a long time ago and just never have gotten around to using it. So very, very excited to be getting it out of my stash. But anyway, let's get this wound back up. Welcome back. It is nap time. I now have a few minutes to sit down and do some knitting. I did not get much done yesterday. I have come to the realization that I think the way that I will be approaching 12 cast-ons is I'm going to be taking at least 2 days for each project, depending on how much progress I get done on it. The reason I say that is because with the kids, the 2 little kids at the age that they are, that I have, I don't know, I just, I had so little knitting time yesterday and I was really sad about it. I wanted to get some like serious progress done on this. And so I think it's one of those things that I'm going to play it by ear a little bit, but probably take at least a couple days per project. depending. Some of the projects are smaller, and so I will be able to, and they're easier knits, and so I'll be able to get to it faster. Yesterday I spent most of nap time like swatching and prepping, so I did make a decent amount of progress, but let me quickly, my camera battery died, as I was saying. This is the progress I have made. I'm still just in the neckband, and that's because this is a folded neckband, so I actually have to get to 3 inches of ribbing, which, pull out my tape measure in here. Let's see how close we are. I am at 2.5 inches. Okay, so I'm closer than I thought it was. I thought I still had like another inch to go. But yeah, again, I am loving how this yarn is knitting up. It's kind of hard to see in this light, but it has so many subtle variations in color. It's just making me more and more pleased with how I dyed it. But yeah, I did the trick that Kirsty from Kirsty Knits and Sews mentions, where she uses 2 needles to cast on, and this might be the stretchiest neckband I've ever had. I absolutely love it. It works so well. I'm going to be doing that trick all the time now. I know I've heard of it before, but she just reminded me of it, and I'm so glad I did it with this. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get this 1/2 inch of ribbing done so I can join the ribbing, and then I have to do like an increase round, and then maybe a few rows, and then I get to start the Colorwork chart. So I would love to get to that point today because, come on, like, isn't this just going to be perfection? I cannot wait. But I have a lot of editing to do. The vlog that I was making of stash prepping and stash assessing and prepping for 12 cast-ons is over an hour long, and I'm not even halfway through editing it yet, so I'm going to be doing that for most of nap time, but thankfully where I'm at on this project should be simple enough that I can knit while I edit. So I'm going to stop talking here and get to it because it took the baby longer than normal to fall asleep, so I only have about an hour, if that, and I really, really want to get some work done and get this video done, edited, and start exporting it so I can upload it and get it up today. So that's what we're gonna do, and I will be back later with some progress. Good morning, friends. Happy New Year. Today is January 1st, so I need to close out this vlog for my first cast on of the 12 cast ons so that I can immediately start filming the second vlog for the second cast on of 12 cast ons. I'm very excited about it. So had another bit of a rough morning. Kids got up super early. I'm tired. Baby was up and down in the night. It was just one of those days, one of those nights. So we're at. My husband is off work today, and so he actually took the boys. They're gonna go wander around Rural King, which is like a, I don't know, hardware, farm supplies type of a store here in America. And so he's gonna do that. They'll probably be gone for about an hour, so I'm going to take advantage of this time to do my 12 cast-ons. I'm so ready for it. But let me first show you the progress that I have made on my first project. I got into the color work a little bit, which is kind of my goal. That was kind of where I wanted to get before I put it down, just because it felt like otherwise it was not any sort of real progress. But yeah, so it's kind of hard to see, but that is the very beginnings of the color work. I think I've done about, I think I might be on the 7th row right now. That I am almost done with. Oh wait, did I lose my stitch marker? No, I think I started the 8th row. Yeah, I've started the 8th row now. So there's my beginning of the round. That's where we're at. I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving how it's looking. Colorwork is not always the most enjoyable knitting experience for me, and I've been trying to see, it looks almost like some stuff is kind of puckering a little bit, But on the back, my floats are like super loose. Like I have plenty of stretch in there. So I'm hoping that that's something where it looks kind of like it's bubbling a little bit. I'm hoping that that is something that blocking will sort out. Like there, you can kind of see it a little bit better. Maybe. Just these like sections right here where it bumps up. And I don't know why that is, because it definitely goes back flat. I don't know, maybe I don't have enough stretch under there. We'll see. We'll find out. Hopefully the magic of blocking does its thing. But yeah, I went ahead and put my first marker on there that my mother-in-law made for me. There we go. So this is my first project. And then actually one of the things that I'm hoping to talk about in today's vlog for my second cast on is I'm hoping to start a knitting journal, which I haven't done before. And I need to go scrounge out a notebook and start doing that, because I realized I do want to keep track of when I cast these projects on. Yeah, now I'm paranoid that my floats aren't actually loose enough, and so that's why it's bubbling up. But because looking at it in a couple spots, it looks like that might be what it is. Because there was a couple rows where I needed to work 5 stitches in one color before doing 1 stitch in the next color, and I didn't catch my floats. Normally I'm very cautious and I will catch my floats if it's anything over like 4. But it takes forever, and I was like, well, I could probably do it 5, no problem. But now I'm kind of worried that I should have caught them halfway, and that would have helped. It'll be fine. I am not ripping it out. So, very happy with the progress that I'm making on here. I'm looking forward to working on it some more. This is definitely one that I'm going to need to work on here and there throughout the 12 cast-ons period, just because it is for a test knit. The deadline's at the end of February, so hopefully, Lord willing, nothing crazy happens, no weeks of sickness and everything. I should have plenty of time to get it done, because once the Colorwork's done, it's just a mindless stockinette project, and I'm so happy about it. Yeah, again, I'm loving how the colors are looking. I'm loving these different pops of, like, if it'll focus, greens in there that you can kind of see in the blue yarn. It just, I'm super happy with it. So that's where I got to. And thank you for watching this video. I'm hoping to get the next one up in a couple of days. We'll see. I'm not sure exactly what my schedule is going to look like, but my husband's home over the next few days over the weekend, so hopefully I'll have a little extra knitting time, so maybe I'll make a little bit more progress on my projects. And if that's the case, then I might be able to do 1 per day for the next 4 days, which would be amazing. But yeah, thank you for watching this first vlog and following along, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!